Hi everyone, it has been far too long since my last video. I really miss doing these and I don't really know why I stopped. Sometimes I guess it can be ideas and too many ideas sometimes as well. So yeah. I wanted to talk about the Wonder Weeks app because it was just the thing that got me through Millie being that was like crazy and cranky all in one word. Cranky, I don't know what that was. But yeah, it was just the thing that really helped me get through it and just stay calm. Most of the time, I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't have my moments and she didn't have her moments, but it helped a lot, and I think we've come through much better for it. I just wanted to share it with you because if you've never heard of the Wonder Weeks or anything like that, it's worth a look at least, because if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. Basically, I really wanted to be informed and like really researched into babies and everything. So when I was pregnant, I read What to Expect When You're Expecting, which is a really good book as well. I'd recommend that too. But yeah, and I think I was reading Gina Ford's book and it said something about a Maury reflex, and apparently it's when the babies do like this reflex, and apparently you do not want to see this because it's babies think they're falling. But I'm like, Millie did it in her sleep, and I'm like, okay, well, I now feel like a bad mother because my baby is doing this in her sleep, and I'm like, can I do anything about that? No, I can't. Stop stressing. And I think I really had to tell myself that because it was just, there's so many things you can stress about as a mother and it's really hard, and it's just like, so I decided to just pick one or two. So I went with mainly the Wonder Weeks app, but also I did read the What to Expect When You're Expecting. I didn't read the What to Expect in the first year, but I did then have a look at the toddler one and kind of had a look. I didn't really dive too much into it, but yeah. So this Wonder Weeks app, I bought it when I lived in the UK, and it was £1.49, which is about $2 to $3 depending on exchange rates, etc. So it's probably in about that price range. It is totally worth it. I mean, it's only a couple of dollars or a couple of pounds depending on where you live, or that was NZ dollars, so obviously if you're watching from America it'll be completely different. It does come in a book. I've not read it, so I can't really comment, but yeah, I'm sure it's good. So, Wonder Weeks app, what is it? Why is it so like, woo? Basically, it's an app that tells you when babies go, and toddlers go through specific development leaps, what's happening to their brain. So for example, systems, patterns, I'm trying to think of all of them now. I can't even think now. Basically, it tells you when the baby's brain starts recognizing certain things and when they're going to learn certain things. And so you can kind of be a bit more prepared on, okay, this is going to happen around this time. I'm going to prepare myself for my baby to be specifically cranky when these leaps happen. It can be, I think the shortest one is a week and the longest ones are like 5-6 weeks, but that's not until they're quite a bit older. So yeah, it really helped me because it also then breaks it down and goes, okay, this week they're going to be, or this month, or this leap rather, they're going to be feeling this, that, and the other because they are learning this and that. And so it specifically says, I'm trying to think of a good example here. I know that the last leap we went through, which was I think it was like systems or something, I don't know, I might be completely wrong. Something along those lines. Basically, Millie, specifically said in this leap, which I read before we started it said she's likely to have more night terrors and things like that, and yeah, it was bang on. Millie kept on waking up in the middle of the night maybe 2 to 3 times a night, and actually it was quite tough, but knowing it was going to happen, or it would possibly be not an option, but it could happen, helped us to prepare and be like, okay, if this is going to happen, we know what's going on, we know it's just not her growing crazy, there's a logical reason for why this is happening, and it's just to do with brain development. But it really helped because it just means if I know that she's going to be up, sort of in the night and things, we can prepare, we can make sure we're not doing as much in the day, and just making sure that we have that balance of me not overdoing stuff, because if I've been up at night, I'm going to be more tired, so I'm not going to be like running around the next day. I mean, I have done it many times, but it does help knowing that if it's, you know, if it's a, it could happen, and yeah, it just really helps to plan a little bit ahead to make sure that we don't get as stressed, and we just allow for this to happen. And it's like, well, if it's gonna happen, let's have some control over it, and let's like help out both me and Millie, because the thing is, at the end of these leaps, I am literally pulling, not literally, but you know, metaphorically pulling my hair out, and she is just so cranky, and I'm exhausted by the end of them, and it's just like, and for me, like, I really noticed they are very accurate. Like, the day after she finishes the leap, she's suddenly back to the most amazing child. It is an insane transformation. This one we had where she was really struggling napping in the day, and so we dropped a nap as well, which had, you know, thrown us off all a bit. But yeah, so she had a nap in the afternoon, or has a nap in the afternoon now, which she's currently doing. Yeah, hence why she's not jumping up on the sofa going, woo! Not quite like that, but you know, I hope that made you smile. Yeah, so it was a bit of a transition, and like, she'd only get half an hour or so, whereas now she's actually having an hour and a half in the afternoon, since she finished that leap. And so it just changes everything, because it means I'm getting that chunk of rest if I'm being sensible, which not all the time. I think we had one day where oh yeah, she fell asleep on my back. That was quite a tiring day, but it was really cute, in my carrier, not just randomly on my back. Yeah, so it's really useful to know when the stormy like leaps are going to be. Basically, these leaps are development leaps, not growth spurts. That's something completely different. So yeah, and it just tells you like when the stormy sessions, it'll give you the dates as well, so you can literally be like, oh right, May the 1st to May the 30th. I don't know whether May has 31 days or not. You can tell me in the bottom. Comments, not bottom. Yeah, and so it's just really useful, and I think one of the main things it does give me a bit of a balance, because it means that, okay, there's this couple of weeks I just need to take a step back and make sure I am giving Millie more attention than other things say, and just being like, okay, this leap will finish, and that is the most helpful thing, knowing it's gonna finish. It's like, okay, we've only got 2 more weeks, let's just get through these 2 weeks, do what we can. And yeah, and often the leaps will tell you, like, obviously what they're going through, but often it'll have videos of what baby's mind is doing, and like knowing what to expect with, as I mentioned earlier about, I think the last leap we had, baby suddenly knows different streets, so she knows, obviously she, because my baby's a she, could be a he if, you know, you're watching this and you have a he, but anyway, babies, they. So yeah, they recognise different streets or something, and then it had a little video on it, but it also gives you games and stuff to do with them to help their brain development. Oh, I can't even think now. I'm basically not screenshotting it, because I know that because I would put a screenshot and stuff in, but I tried to actually do it with my sister-in-law to help her out, yeah, and it wouldn't let me screenshot, so it only lets me screenshot the first thing, and then I try and scroll down to get the rest of the information, but because obviously it's a paid app, they need to make their money, and this is in no way endorsed, by the way, or anything like that. It's just I found it really helpful, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, I've made some lovely notes here, and I think I've kind of said what I needed to remember to say anyway about the app, and I think sometimes as a mum, it can get so overwhelming. I get overwhelmed at the best of times, without having a baby or toddler now. Yeah, so it just helps having that kind of almost like a routine of just like, okay, this is happening then, that's happening then. It helps me, it helps her. I think we were quite anti-routine when we had her, and so we've had to learn to become a little bit more routine, just because it helps us and it helps her. It makes everybody's life so much easier. yeah, we'll still never be very regimented with routine, but it's like, you know, we will have dinner in between 5 and 5:45, that kind of routine. It's not, we'll have a routine, but not must be, you know, 8:06 on the dot, you know. We couldn't live like that. Some people really thrive by that, and that's great, but yeah, so it can be really overwhelming, like I was saying, and it just gives that little bit of help, and just being like, okay, I'm not going crazy here. There is a very good reason why my baby is so cranky right now, and why I'm getting really cranky, and we just both need a bit of a break sometimes. Obviously, yeah, that was the biggest thing at end of the leaps, because she was sleeping less. It meant I got a bit less of a break, and it's just as important I get a break that she gets a break, because if I don't, I get cranky. She'll notice that and then play up, because she's like, ha, mummy's grumpy, I'm going to play up, you know, and mummy's overwhelmed and all that. But yeah, anyway, I've been talking for like nearly 11 minutes. How did that even happen? Thank you if you stayed this long, and I really hope this helps someone, because I don't know what I'd have done without the Wonder Weeks. Quick note on it as well before I do go is the app goes by due date, not birth date, because I made that mistake. It is very accurate, and this is done by I believe doctors, either doctors or scientists. Basically, they've got a lot of study. They've done a lot of studying on this. And yeah, babies generally go into the development leaps at the same time. But one thing, I think I started up with her birth date instead of her due date, which is only 2 days in it anyway. But I had noticed it wasn't quite accurate, and then suddenly when I changed it, because I realised it was due date, it suddenly came anyway. I'm nearly talking for 12 minutes now, so I will love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope this helps someone, even if it's just one person. Great, amazing. Yeah, but yeah, bye.